This guy has a Timothy Chalamet Willy Wonka. He's got Willy Wonka as his profile. Okay, we're facing. Let's play just the close Sicilian. It's a tricky line, I know, against e6 in the close Sicilian that I really enjoy playing, that maybe I can show. My idea here is I'm going to play rook to e1, and potentially, if this knight is hit, knight to d5. And after takes, we're going to be opening this e line. I think my opponent might be a little aware of this idea, because d6 does a lot to stop that, as does queen c7. Let's play d4 now in one go. I never played d3. Recapture with knight. Position is pleasant enough. Do I have this? Takes, bishop e7. I would have knight f5 in that position. Honestly, I think it would be fun. It might not be the best, but it's definitely what I'm going to do. Because it's very fun. So we're going to recapture here. Just sacrifice the knight. Open the e-line. So there's no bishop e7 is the key point. Takes, I would have knight f5 targeting this too many times. So once this e-line is opening now, my opponent's king is going to have to slide to d8 or d7. And we're just going to have some fun going after him. It's just going to be a little uncomfortable, and it's going to play especially well in blitz. I beat a FIDE master recently with your Budapest line. It's amazing. Oh, that's awesome. Well, on one hand, I support you as a fellow Gambit Chad, but on the other hand, that's brutal against, my fellow kind as FIDE masters. I'm kidding, it's just the first hand. But, congratulations. Let's attack here. This makes sense. I want to open this more than anything. Let's go here. I think this is a target, because still bishop e7, knight f5 seems very uncomfortable. And if you play knight d7, you can. I'm going to play knight c6 check, potentially, as soon as the knight leaves the square. I wanted here, maybe c3. Knight c6 I could play right now. Could be good. This is an idea. How do you stop me? King c8, I guess. Let's play c3. This makes sense in all formats. No matter what I do with my other pieces, I need all my pieces in the game. So just quick, easy decisions would be getting the bishop into the game, getting the rook into the game. And honestly, in this time control, I should have just done these things faster. h6 could be played. Would ask me a good question about this. I could play knight c6 in that position. Takes, you take my bishop, I take here. I'm attacking the rook in that line. There's nothing in the way. And then it also supports rook e8, potentially. b3 played. Seems a little desperate. Okay, I will just eat it. Did I have something even stronger, like queen e2? So b3, I mean, it actually, it makes a lot of sense. Objectively. Now, can we go for it with like something like knight c6? I think one of my next ideas might be here and in here. So like bishop e3 now. I could play knight c6 right there. Takes, knight c5, and then I could have traded. I was thinking about this, but I didn't want to trade so many guys. My next threat now is knight c6. Takes. And then when the knight moves, I wanted my bishop to go to b6. If he comes here too early, my idea is b4. Okay, but I've already gotten 2 pawns back. I was going to say, but they could take that. I thought it a little risky, but it makes sense because, that was an idea of mine. Let's get the rook here, if that's what's happening. Maybe this was a very important pawn, actually. So they trade off some more guys. Potentially I shouldn't have allowed that. But okay, I want b4. I'm still having fun here, down a piece. I want b4, I want you to move. This might be a little slow. Can we come and get you? I can put my rook right there just for fun. Queen e4. Oh, this is good. This is very good. I'm attacking here and here. I don't know how you stop that. And all this time, this was a Gambit, guys. But I didn't even have these on. I just realized. Gambit glasses on, baby. We got him. We put a lot of pressure, and it was just very uncomfortable for black. This whole game, I'm saying my victory speech, but this is not game over. Check here. It's not game over. Let's go check and takes. Seems good. Seems quite good, yeah. Yum. I mean, yum. Attack. This is a major target as well. Everybody's joining the fun. Go check here. I'm sorry to sacrifice. Oh no, I'll go check and take it. Take it. And now the queen's coming over here. And at minimum, I'm grabbing this knight. Okay, let's just do that. I can just win the game like this. Can I win the rook? No. That's okay. I can win this endgame. There we go, we forced the trade of rooks. Oh, don't promote. That would have been... Oh, no, it's not stalemate. They have that square. I was going to say I was guarding... I thought for a second stalemate guarding that square. Only if my queen were here. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Okay, interesting game there, right? That was my first Tail Tuesday game on stream against Willy Wonka. This line is quite interesting. We play here knight e2 right away. And the point is that if d5 happens, which is totally playable, what I'm going to do is takes, and then to prevent black from pushing d4, I'm going to play d4. And the idea is this is what we call a backward pawn. It will never be defended by a fellow pawn. As long as I hold this blockade on d4, here, here, here if necessary, as long as I hold this, it will never advance. And then it will never be defended by a fellow pawn, right? The e-pawn is gone, the c-pawn is here. So this is a target, right? You can imagine kind of like long term, something like this happens. I don't know, here, 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 here. Let's say bishop e6 is probably necessary or something to protect this. Now I can, yeah, I mean, I can bring my rooks into the game or something. But I can take c5, open up many attackers here. So long as d4 is never an option, so long as they never take control of this square, which is kind of the key thing, and this pawn never advances. But if it's stuck here, then I'm going to be able to just really pile onto it with all my pieces. So that's kind of the idea, but fortunately we didn't just play against a weak pawn. My opponent opted for a different option of not playing d5, and so, okay, I played d4 in one go. This is all sensible, I think. Take, knight f6. Oh, wow, okay. Knight d5 here. You guys see the engine a little bit. What is up, Jozuha? Mr. Matt Bader. You guys see the engine a little bit. Well, actually, maybe it's interesting that it's covered up. Knight d5 here is +2. This is plus 2.5 just here. And it's recommending... It's literally saying anything is almost the same evaluation. Bishop g5, bishop d2, a4. This position's all good. Okay, so my choice in the game, I played a4, b4, knight d5. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Look at that. Look at that. Knight d5, just a conceptual piece sacrifice. I mean, maybe like conceptual is the wrong word a little bit, But the point being that there's no bishop e7, and now you have to play king d8, and now it's like, how do you get these pieces out? Your king is just stuck in the center all game, and it is just ripe for targets. So we start off with bishop g5, simple move, development here. Again, bishop e7 runs into knight f5, which is just a really brutal issue, and there's nothing good for this bishop. Rook e8, knight takes g7, really sucks, just attacking here. Rook g8, and it's saying, okay, I have moves like queen d4, attacking this knight, which gets really, really tough really fast. So this pin is really strong. I can play queen f3 and pile onto it. Again, if there's no bishop e7, I can just keep piling onto this knight and really dominate it. So knight d7 kind of has to be played, which offers the knight c6 idea. Yeah, I mean, this position it's just really tough to play for black, and it is +3, which is, I didn't even get a sense of that Stockfish approves so much of this position. Just these piece sacrifices, it's common ideas in the Sicilian. I mean, I think in a number of Sicilian lines, you see knight d5 as a piece sacrifice, and it's often at least a playable idea because, well, knight e5 would fall victim to f4, and bishop e7 to the rook here. So the point is, just as long as you can force the king to move, then, the compensation is going to be there. c3, b3 was a very good move because takes, rook c1, now this file's open, and with that file open, then there's really just no running. Because right now, okay, at least after queen e2 to come to queen e8, black, I think, has to probably play something like king c8 to run away. But, if that file's open, then there's just no option against queen to e8 coming through. Yeah, knight e5, f4. Okay, it's saying you can give back the piece or something like this. Takes here, bishop e3, you can lose like this, bishop e6. So, in the game though, c3 and b3 was played. Oops. And I just took it. Okay, it wasn't the cleanest, but this was all... I was never really lost my advantage all the way, and eventually we crashed through. I mean, it was just so hard to defend. This became +5 as the queen attacked here and here. Gotta go to the next game. Subscribe if that goes on YouTube. Knight f3 played. Let's play d5. And b3. I think sensible against this is actually to play a London setup with no queen b3. Queen b3 is off the table as an option here. We want, what, like a quick e4? Okay. What I think I can do against ideas of a quick e4 is try to play d4. Seems like an annoying idea. That's not what they want to face. I don't know. There were a number of ways I could have set up here. Okay, let's play d4. I'm also playing that, kind of to counter this bishop a little bit. Okay, e5. Why not take the whole center? I quite like this. Let's play queen d7, attacking here. You want to play g4? You want to give me these ideas? I don't know. I'm not sure you should give me these ideas. Okay, I think it's also strong, though, if I just go here and play h5. It was interesting. Okay, h5. Now I'm targeting this pawn, and if it moves, I take h3. And we've got a lot of firepower here. And I like this pawn on d4 just completely shutting this guy out of the game. If he was on c1, then g5 would be a move here. Ooh, so ugly. Ew. Don't do that to your dark squares and to this bishop. Yucky, yucky, yucky. Okay. What if I go check, takes, just to use that d4 square for my knight. No, it's not going to work. Queen c1, I'm just going to lose it. Okay, let's go here. I'd love to recapture like this. Okay, potentially they want e3. Shift over. Want f5. Queen h4. e3 take. e3 makes sense to try to bust out, but I'm gonna put my rook here and target all these weaknesses that we've created. Now, how do I attack this guy? Let's go here. Yeah, I can't quite get the king at the moment. Play f5. I think g5 I can play h4 and then come clean that guy up. That's my idea. Okay. Try to attack here. Now that we've got that open. Bishop f7, I think, is the most sensible idea, but I gotta just play faster right now with the time getting a little low. Play bishop f7. 85, also a good move. Lots of targets. I don't want to just trade everything on d3. That's like the one thing I don't want to do. Okay, now I think we're piling up here. This is going to be my main idea. Ooh, wait a sec. Let's get in there. Let's get in right there. It's a good spot. That is a good spot. Let's get there. That's a spot. That is a spot of spots. Rook g1, do I have here? Takes. Yeah, I do. Rook g1, bishop g4. Or rook g1, can I just take it? Oh, yeah, I can just take it. King takes and bishop f3. It's just going to be checkmate. This was playable, but knight g4 can come. I have so many guys joining the party. I also rook takes d3. This is a checkmate. Oh, wow. Look at my pieces. Look at my pieces. They did a great job. We got them. Big attack again. Big attack. Let's have a look. 90 accuracy here. Not bad. Not bad for such a quick time control and an opening that confused me a little bit. Opponent playing knight f3, b3, and then not really sticking to kind of what you'd expect that setup to look like. Like what, for example, Ding played against Gukesh in like at least one of those games. Or in, I think, exactly one of those games. But d3 here. Now, let's just open analysis. Planning to push e4, so a double fianchetto. c4, yeah. I think, yeah, it's recommending here an e5. Making that trade and then trying to play e4. So now this knight is no longer in the way of the bishop. And now e4, I think, makes a lot more sense in the position. You can trade here, and then if necessary, you can play c4 if the bishop really has targets. But c4 right now, I think it gives me this nice option, d4, which does a great job just against this piece, as kind of you saw in the game. So now I play e5, I just take the whole center. Here comes queen d7. Yeah, knight takes g4 is an option. It's the third choice of the engine, but yeah, I mean, okay, it's playable. But I can there's no shame in attacking while still not being down any material. Like being down material isn't a prerequisite to attacking, right? It's actually better to just not be down material. If you must go down material to attack, that's okay. But bishop e6 just allowed me to do both. So, knight to e4. played h5. And this is really problematic because these pieces just are not doing a great job at all. And h5 is a nice little resource targeting this pawn and putting pressure on h3. I mean, if you're white, you probably wanted to play king h2 at some moment, or even immediately to deal with h3 would have been the safest, so that, you know, you wouldn't have this issue and you can answer with g5 in this position if necessary, or the pawn would just be here to begin with. But knight takes, bishop takes. Yeah, pressure here, and now, like, with f3 played, it's just icky. Like, it's just so icky. Like you got all these, every pawn is on light square, every single pawn, and this poor bishop, man. So my bishop is trying to feast on these dark squares, and it zigzags its way here. This is not a trade you want to make. I mean, like, f5 I can play at some moment. Maybe I'll recapture by knight and jump into that outpost, or I'll just target e2. But yeah, yuck, yuck. So bishop f4, knight c2 is played to try and bust out a little bit, playing e3. But now e3 creates another target in the position. And white's position is just, I think, pretty difficult to play. I think my opponent did a good job hanging on here, defending d3. Okay, f5. It allowed g5, it's saying. I wanted to play, like, h4 and then clean it up. Okay, but it's saying queen e2, and maybe they can cause some counterplay. Yeah, I think my timing was a little off there, because I played queen d6, and I just lost control of the g5 square. Right? f5, I don't want to allow push past. I want to force a pawn trade from that last pawn that's defending the king. So my timing was off there with f5, but fortunately we just got the capture, and my pieces just came around really nicely. Bishop takes h5, here comes rook g6, and the rook coming into g3, knight came into e5 in the game. Okay, queen h6 just kind of ended the game here, with you know, the last target being the only one in front of the king, as that came across as well. So GG there. Yeah, just a nice attack that came from positional domination to begin with, right? So it's important to, you know, control the center, control the important color of the squares. Okay, GG.
William Grave, the Gambit man, takes his seat at the board. e4, e5, knight f3, bishop c5. The Bushcast Gambit on the board. On with the Gambit classes. Hero pawn unlocked.